Good evening and welcome to this press conference. This evening at Garden Lira, we are organized to address the media and generally the public on the issue of animal or cattle compensation, the compensation of the Amuka militia who fought alongside UPDF, and of course the compensation of lives and properties lost during the LR insurgency as a requirement by the International Criminal Court, which requires that when a war of such a magnitude takes place in a region or in a particular place, government and the national community has got a responsibility to carry out reparation and compensation of the lives lost during the war. And as you are also aware, recently you saw the people of Teso region coming out as the public to protest and to demonstrate against government failure to compensate the animals which they lost during the Karamojong rustling. In Lango, the case is different. Lango went to court and court awarded them compensation. Government conducted all the exercises as required by law. There were verification of those who had applied for the losses of their animals. They were asked to open up accounts many years back and repeatedly, not once, not twice, not thrice. They were also asked again to procure data forms or data cards, which in essence is also a faulty process to ask somebody to get a data card when this person has been issued a word by court of law, meaning that the amount this person is supposed to get is defined, meaning that the person who is supposed to get compensation is known, meaning that government has an obligation, a duty, not a request, a duty to pay. But government has been playing around and doing dilly-dallying. Write this, open account, go this, bring another data card, do this, register. And to make it worse in Lango, all the people who have been claiming their properties from government and who won the case in court have lost each more than 1 million shillings. In transport cost, in accommodation cost, moving from their villages across Lango to Lira City, to open up accounts, to verify their names, to access data forms or data card, and also to bribe the people who register from the Attorney General's office. People have lost millions of shillings just in search for what does not exist. And yet they have won case in court. A few years back, President Museveni launched the compensation of all the animals in Teso, Lango, Karamoja, and Western Nile, and Achole region. It was launched in broad daylight in Soroti. And the president declared the money, that this amount of money has been given out. But the question is, where has that money gone? Because in Lango up to date, the people who had been claiming their compensation, kind of, none of them has got the money. But a lot of extortion has continued to take place. And they are agents of the Attorney General's office, agents of Attorney Generals, whom some of them are also leaders, some are members of parliament, who have been using this as an opportunity to extort money from the people in the name of giving them compensation. They have also been using this to access this money for their own self-enrichment. You remember some time back, even Lango Parliamentary Group were accused for having been paid money for people who did not even claim any money, people who did not lose anything, and people who did not deserve to be compensated. They were paid money. And that was now bribe, because the Office of the Attorney General, Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and government did not want anybody to speak about it. Now, people have been struggling, all mothers, all fathers, who lost genuinely their properties during the cattle rustling. Nearly 80% of them have now died. Now, the delay has been deliberate and tactful, that these people should die so that the money is eaten by people who have registered them. And there have been, somehow individuals have been eating the money. But also government has been doing this tactfully to deny these people their money. Because their children do not know the process these people have gone through, and they do not have documentation of what has happened, and so they cannot claim for this money. But somebody who has got the name, either their agents in Lango, who works with the state or who works with the Attorney General's office, are accessing this money. Recently, data cards were being sold. You hear we are selling data card at 200. Now, you sell a data card of somebody who has been genuinely made to be compensated by court. Somebody whose name is known in court, somebody whose name is known by Attorney General, somebody who has opened an account by instruction from Attorney General, but again you are giving him a data card to buy. What are all this for? To extort the very poor, the very underprivileged, and people who have already been stolen. So to this effect, I have decided, as a civil activist who have been campaigning for the rights of the people of Lango for as long as I am alive, I campaigned for Lira Kambini Road, and you now know what happened. I was arrested, I was detained, I lost my properties, I was victimized, abused, but the Lira Kambini Road is there. The president came himself to answer me. I fought for Akiibua here. I became a prisoner for nearly 6 months. Akiibua is now being constructed. Now, the last financial year for the NRM government is this year. In fact, in 2 months, we are going to read the new budget. And that budget ends the current term of office of government. Meaning that the only opportunity we have is now. So I am now not requesting, because this is a court ruling, I'm now demanding that government must, in this financial year, 2025/2026, put in the allocation for the clearance of the claimants' money over cattle compensation in Lango region. If they don't put, I am going to mobilize now, and I'm going to champion now to do 2 things. Number 1, to protest vehemently against government. Number 2, to ensure that this government, the current government, do not get any single support in the election which is due beginning in September. Never. Because it means they have lost legitimacy, they have lost moral support and moral confidence of the people, and it means they are liars, they are pretenders, they don't stick to what they have agreed as contractual terms with the population. They don't honor contractual agreements. They don't respect the citizens whom they are supposed to lead. So I'm going to command the people of Lango towards that effect. And that is a notice to government that Otto is on the way to put you to task to pay the Lango people their compensation, whether you want or not, because the court has said you must pay. The second thing, Amuka militia, who fought alongside government, UPDF, president, members of parliament, all the army officers are paid for what they do to protect people's lives and their properties. But Amuka militia volunteered, sacrificed their time, their life, their properties, their families, and fought alongside UPDF to ensure that the LRA insurgency comes to end. And they succeeded. Government promised them that we would compensate these people or would give them some reparation, appreciation. Some of them were killed during this fighting. Some of them are very desperate. Some of them lost their property. People who, these are heroes. These are heroes who should be given national awards, National Heroes Award, not these Matoke thieves of Luero and so on, who they have been given awards and awards. These ones are people who fought to liberate the people upon failure by government to protect them. But now government promised they will compensate them. I know Honorable Kotogong, who was the chairman of Lango Parliamentary Group. He was also the chairman of the Amuka militia group. And he had been moving around. They say, you know, Amuka, mobilize Amuka here, you work, we shall pay you, we shall give you. But now they are all quiet. I don't know what has happened. Either they have been whispered, somebody has whispered to them that now, let the sleeping dog lie. Let those people lie there. But you come to me on the table and we talk. I don't know. But because if nobody had whispered on to them, by now they would have put government to task to just give these people little appreciation. Because they have all been getting this money. They have all been paid. They are being paid. In everything they do, they are paid. They even ask to increase their money the way they want. But they have left these people vulnerable. Some of them have died. Their families have disappeared. These are heroes. These are heroes. And they do not understand the importance of the sacrifice and the commitment these people put in for the benefit of the lives of the people of Lango and Uganda as a whole. So, I am also demanding that this financial year, government through members of parliament from Lango, and they should be judged on this, they must ensure that this money is put for the company. If they don't put, or if they don't ensure that the money is allocated for compensation of Amuka militia, the people at home here should ask them what happened. Because what they do, they are paid for it. But when Amuka go and die there, they go and sacrifice their time to protect their own people. They are left there to die without anything. That's not how people should work. They must have a heart of service and a heart of also, you know, sharing. They need to. You have seen people who fought alongside the NRA in the Luero bushes. They are being compensated every day, every year. Luero has been, everybody is compensated every year. People are being awarded. In fact, I am also demanding that government should award these people a medal. The Amuka militia should be awarded medals so that in their homes, they know once upon a time, they sacrificed their life for the sake of protecting their own people. That will remain as a legacy in their homes. Now, lastly, those people who are killed in Barlonyo, in Atiak, in Bar, in Apala, there were huge massacres. In Burlobo, Burchoro, there were massacres of people. Recently, government of Uganda took LRA before the International Criminal Court. And the International Criminal Court made a judgment. And that judgment made it very clear that Onwen had committed crime. I was one of the witnesses who went before the International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands. And according to the international law, where a case of that matter has been presided over, now that Onwen is now a culprit, is now a prisoner, the people who were affected by this are supposed to be compensated. And government of Uganda, who are responsible for protecting these people, are responsible for compensating the lives lost, the properties destroyed, the people killed in the Barlonyo. They are supposed to compensate. The international community is also supposed to give reparation to these families. So I am now also asking government that the last financial year you have is this one. Put the money for reparation, for compensation of the lives and properties of the people who are killed by the LRA or during the LRA government insurgency. That is a matter that cannot be, that's a matter that cannot be debated. It's a matter which is clear by the international law and by the local law. Government should come and give these people reparation. You can see people who were just killed mercilessly. Nobody protected them. Government failed to protect them. And now the international court has made it clear that these people killed people. And so they should be compensated, the people who are killed. Their relatives have just disappeared. Instead of putting barrel on something, training institute, that is for people who have survived. What about those who have died? We want a tangible thing directly into the hands of individuals. Now, finally, districts were asked to submit the names of people who are going to join the Amuka militia. Their names are there in the district archives. Their names were submitted to Ministry of Defense. You could not hand over guns to individuals to fight an insurgency without taking records of them. The number on the guns given to them is there. So the record is fully available in the archives of local governments, in our districts, in the archives of government, Ministry of Defense. Because Ministry of Defense cannot just hand over guns to no one. They gave guns to individuals whose names are known, and they took responsibility, and they used the guns and returned it back to government. So let them go and check in the Ministry of Defense. The data of the Amuka militia, it is there. It is true that many of them have died. But that's the more reason we are saying those people died in sacrifice for us or for the people. Their children should not be suffering because of those people sacrificing it up and dying. That's why government is compensating loyal people for after 40 years. People who fought alongside the NRA against government are still being compensated up to today. So why can't they compensate the Amuka militia people? And they have the records of those people. People who are putting bombs along highway, Lamdogi, they have their records. Now can they have records for people who fought an LRA, killing people in Barcelona? They have to respond to the issues I'm raising. They should be prepared that we will not sit back. We shall pursue them using logical, legal, and civil approaches until they respond to their duty. These are issues which have been here for 20 years. If you have failed to pay me for the last 20 years, and then I ask you to pay me now, what crime would have I committed? You must look for money and get the money which they are paying leaders and so on. In fact, president should remove that money, classified expenditure, and pay these people. Because there's no money. His office this financial year has no reason to get the money because he's no longer going to be president. By September, November, he will just be in that office. So that money which is going up to June should be the ones used to pay what? To pay. People are spending money. Do you know that Uganda, just yesterday, Uganda government has cleared NRM Parliamentary Caucus, has cleared UPDF, Ministry of Defense, to deploy in Sudan. You know how many trillion shillings will be used on that? When the people who fought for protecting lives in Uganda are here, desperately dying. So there's a lot of money they are committing on non-important things to Ugandans. Our money anyway. Do you know they have recently also sent troops in DR Congo? Multi-trillion shillings are being spent there. Ugandans are here dying here. Our properties whom we lost, is not being compensated. So government has no excuse whatsoever. For the last 20 years, they have been knowing this. They were taken to court. The court defeated them. They accepted. They started paying. Let them pay. In fact, if they don't pay now, they should leave government. Because that means they cannot do anything any further. This is the 40 years term of government, of the current government. And after 40 years, you cannot claim you have not been able to pay and you can't have the money to pay. They have the money to pay. That's the priority now. What else is the priority now? Their priority is now they must pay that money. This is also not a lot of money. They must pay. So there's no excuse whatsoever. Money is there. And in any case, once the court has dictated upon something, there is no argument about it. Okay, let them come back and make a negotiation with us, how they will pay. But they should not hide and come here, start giving people handouts for election to seek another term in office. No way. And this affects everybody. That's why I'm saying members of parliament who do not raise this matter in parliament should also come back and answer here. Why didn't they raise this matter so that people are paid? Because their time to give the money is down. We want to see it in the budget of June. Because supplementary budgets, they make supplementary budget even when a year, only we are left with 1 month. They put trillion supplementary budget for State House. Why can't they put also money now for these people? Oh, unless if they consider our animals useless, the lives of our people useless, and we are useless. If that's what government thinks, that's okay. But we shall pursue them because it is our right. Again, I want to make this one clear to our people. Lango should not be paupers in their own country. This mentality of going to pick yours, either from the president or from government, you pick yours and you go and hide in your house, will cause us problem. Because the problem we are facing now is that leaders have decided that as long as I get mine, there is no problem. It doesn't matter whether my people have got or not. That mentality is killing our people. It's killing us as a group, as a generation. Lango should stand up for a cause, a genuine cause of their own, and also for the future of their own children. Lango as a duty, as a responsibility, as a people, to stand on the right thing, and they should come together to pursue these matters, regardless of divisions along political lines and other affiliations. Because this has got nothing to do with your UPC something. It has got nothing to do with your NRA, NRM. It is only about what is good for our people and what our people deserve and what is in their right. So I call upon now people to join hands together, and now should stop fearing nothing. Because what I know, now fears government as if government kills everybody. No, government duty is to protect me and my property. That's why I speak with confidence. Because I know government cannot come and kill me. For what? What crime have I committed? Now should stop fearing, hiding their boots in their houses. They should stand out to be counted for standing for the right thing. And that's what we were known for. This level of cowardice. And they should stop these few people who are deployed here and there to do. Those are just thugs. Don't even think about officers which are not responsible for your own right. They should stand for their right, demand what belongs to them, and fight for it, and get, because we deserve it. But they should be law-abiding citizens. I think the actually opposition, so-called opposition leaders, somehow have proven themselves publicly and honestly. Because in the actual sense, majority of the people who call themselves opposition in Uganda, nearly 80% of them work with government. But they work with government behind the curtains. In the night, they are in government. During the daytime, they are in opposition. Majority of them. You cannot tell me that Jarama Penduzi is in opposition and he has crossed. Jarama Penduzi has been working openly with government, but he has never pronounced himself. You cannot tell me Akol is in opposition. Akol has been working with government in the open. In Lao here, Bitamoi is UPC. She's the minister of Museveni. Yes, in Lao here, you have many of them who say we are UPC and yet they work with NRM. They get money from NRM, they campaign for NRM. So, these people, the so-called opposition, actually, I think they were honest to say, instead of us hiding for too long, let us come out openly and make people know us. I would prefer that even those in Lango who hides around UPC and other opposition comes out publicly and say, we are working with Museveni. We are working with, so that we know exactly who is in opposition. Like for me, if I decide tomorrow that I no longer want to work outside government, I will be open and I will be public. Because I would say, I believe I should work with these people on A, B, C, D. But I'm not going to hide around during the night. I'm in State House. During daytime, I'm opposition. When you're in Lao, we are going to government. The next day, no, we cannot go to government. Wait, 5 years, we are coming. That is not how opposition should be. We should be principled. We should be clear. We should be objective. I always think it is the right thing for somebody to be clear where his heart falls or takes you. If I want a lady, I say I love you. Instead of pretending around, making somebody to guess for so long. Because by the time somebody realizes that you love this person, it will be too late. Somebody would have snatched the person. So these people, if they want to work with Museveni, and now they are working with Museveni and they are open, so be it. Clearly, we don't have opposition in Acholi anymore. All of them are NRM. Clearly now, we have those hiding in the name of opposition, but we want them also to come out openly. Yes, let them also come out like those of Acholi has come out, so that we know that opposition are only in Buganda. Because new people are serious in their opposition. They have a principal distinction between what they do with government and what they don't do with government, and what they demand government to do for their people. And that's the opposition. But this thing of using the name, or I'm in opposition, using colors, putting on dresses, that I'm in opposition, when you are doing completely a different thing with government. How do you explain a minister in NRM whose duty is to respond, is to exactly implement the policy of the government in power? And how do you call that person an opposition? Because you are called UPC? No, that's self-defeating. Ujarame Punzi is the chairperson of a committee in parliament appointed by NRM. So he's NRM. Yeah, he's not in opposition. Let us be clear. If you cannot have a clear ideology, a clear policy, a clear agenda against NRM, come out. Like Isah Otto, my agenda against NRM is known. Okay? Let me be pronounced on that. If you are going to cooperate, if you are going to work with government or with the current government, come out clearly. That is how it should be. Principally, I think you can work with government as long as you have a clear terms, but publicly known. That's why for me, I have no problem with Norbert Mao. Because Norbert Mao came out clearly and said, I'm going to work with NRM, and he came out and laid down the areas he's going to work with. So I have no problem with him. But the problem is the people of DP, because DP is not there. The problem is DP is gone. As simple as that. But playing game, pretending, trying to appease people, telling people lies when you're a different person, and a hyena wearing a different coat of a lion is very bad.